I don't think anyone who's seen Obsession is surprised at its success, but I feel like everyone else seems to be very, very shocked by it. What's sort of been your reaction to seeing this just like consistently like just go bonkers both critically and at the box office?
Yeah, I mean it's been insane. It's a whole surreal experience, and yeah, I think the way it's continued to just exceed any expectations from even like the festival run up until now has just been mind-boggling. It's yeah, it's crazy.
When did you come into the project?
Um, well, I guess I learned of it pretty early on, right around the time that Curry was getting greenlit to produce it. Was when he at least like kind of put it like a little earworm in my head as far as this is an idea that I'm excited about, and like would you have any interest in maybe scoring it?
Now, like coming in like so early in the project, I feel like for a lot of composers is a really beneficial thing because you can kind of adapt as the picture goes along and like have some of your ideas maybe like it's a little more organic rather than just like you're composing to what's already a locked picture. But I mean, like this is your first feature, so I'm like I imagine this is just all new.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I didn't have like any sort of expectations around like the project itself or how to even score anything, or you know, no experience there. So I didn't know like the industry standard approach or anything like that. So I and Curry a little bit the same. Like a lot, we were both learning a lot of things on the fly, and so we had a very like DIY process that was cool to me. It felt like we were just running gunning like our own operation as far as the score goes, and that was really fun.
So like what were some of the like ideas that Curry gave you like when you were getting started? Did he have like an idea of what he wanted, or was it sort of a let me know what you think to you?
it was it was a mixture, but he definitely knew what he wanted. He had a strong vision at first as far as the really like the sonic palette and the types of sounds that we wanted to use. Like that was pretty locked from the beginning, and then um, he always like was encouraging me to experiment and put my own taste and push it and go like he's like these ideas we're talking about like that's great and everything, but try things, go big, like let's take some risks here and do all that.
What were some of the risks that you took from that sort of missive that he gave you?
I think a lot of it was to me there's a handful of moments that are like I would almost assume they would be handled much more on like the sound design piece, but we were really putting some like hard impacts and really driving things like so loud, like almost clipping, and really just abrasively loud stuff, and the hard cuts as well. I think there's a combo there where I'm like, and a lot of that was also his idea. But yeah, just some things that I wouldn't typically. I think I play into subtlety a lot, which is I think lended itself like positively for a lot of the score. But in those moments where I'm like, I need to switch on the other side of the brain and just go big. To me, that those felt like bigger risks, and I think at the end of the day, he was like, we could have even maybe gone further.
For a movie that goes as hard as this one does, like I feel like maybe occasionally pulling back was probably the smarter idea. Like people walked out of this movie affected.
For sure. Yeah.
How is it for you? Like, I mean, I assume that you'd seen Milk and Cereal and you knew kind of what Curry was capable of, but like when you finally saw the finished product, how was your own reaction?
Yeah, it's hit me a lot of different ways. Like each new time I've seen it. But I mean, I'll never forget the first official screening at TIFF. That was the one that like my heart didn't stop racing the whole time. Like I was so nervous, and I don't even know where those nerves were necessarily coming from. But that was because I had seen it like probably hundreds of times if you count like all the running each scene at a time. So there was nothing like new that I was anticipating, or like obviously I was so desensitized to anything that was going to feel scary. But just being in a room full of people that no one other than like myself and Curry and my girlfriend has like seen the work firsthand, at least around me, that was like very nerve wracking. And then I think every viewing since, it's hit me in an interesting way. Like I'll think of something that I hadn't, or it'll just set in a little bit deeper of like, okay, this actually is real. Like this really happened.
How wild is it for you to have like your first film score not only be to such a successful movie, but like I mean, it has gotten this deluxe release from Waxwork, like a very, they are very well known in the world of film scores and soundtracks. And in like such a like clever, creative way. Like what's like it like to be able to like hold it in your hands.
Yeah, I mean that's the dream right there, and and I didn't even like I just feel so lucky and privileged to have this experience, and I these things weren't even like things I had considered at first. Like I didn't even it was a dream to even get the soundtrack, for there to be a soundtrack period was one thing that Curry and I like talked about. How cool would that be? Just a digital release, never mind. Yeah, like with the Waxwork collaboration and the vinyl and the CD and the cassette is just like the coolest thing, especially as someone who collects those sort of things. It's just yeah, it's surreal. It's a crazy experience.
So like what were you doing musically like prior to coming onto this project that like Curry wanted to tap you for it?
I'm not sure what made Curry see like me as a good fit for Obsession, like particularly. We had worked together on a project of his and Cooper's, their comedy duo,
Mhm.
and I produced because I've worked as a music producer my whole career, just working with artists and writing and recording and my own stuff as well. And I had just helped them produce a song that they were turning into like a funny video, and I think he enjoyed that process and saw how well we worked together and clicked just on the musical thing. But there was nothing horror adjacent at all involved in that. So um, I think he just went off of like the connection and the feeling that we would work well together. And I'd sent him a couple little ideas, and I think off the first thing I sent him, he probably was like, okay, yeah, this can work. But yeah, it was looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, what really did he see that? How do you sniff that out?
Like what's been like like did you have a relationship with like horror genre cinema before you did this, or was this jumping in, feet first?
I've I've always loved horror in general. I think a lot of the art that I prefer to consume is rooted in darkness. I love all that stuff. I'm from New England. I've always like felt very aligned with the energy that some of that carries, and like Salem, Massachusetts, and like all that stuff. It's I've always had an interest in it, and even like in my the early part of my career working with rappers and making beats and stuff, I always got notes that my stuff sounded very spooky. There was always just a tinge of some haunting element to the stuff that I make. So yeah, and I think like horror movies in general, like I'm not even the biggest, or I wasn't like movie person. I hadn't. There's so many things I still haven't seen that are considered classics. So I'm like excited to continue to explore that, especially now. But throwing on like a horror movie was kind of, or like a psychological thriller, like that. That's my go-to every time if I am gonna throw something on.
I love that you're just like, I'm from New England, and by way of explaining like your spooky credentials, and I like the fact that I immediately was like, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny that you you reacted that way.
No, I mean like you've got Salem, you've got Stephen King, you've got H.P. Lovecraft. That's all like the DNA of American horror, I think, comes out of that area. So yeah, I think you're very well, you and Curry both are very well suited to be part of this world now. Um, like now that the film's out and it's doing well, and like the vinyl's gone into a second pressing, which is crazy. Like what does the back half of 2026 look like for you, Rock?
Well, I'm just getting started on Curry's next film, Anything But Ghosts. That is probably gonna take me into the fall, and that's pretty much just what I have my sights on right now. About to begin like literally any day now. I think he's probably pretty deep into the edit at the moment, and we're like gonna have our big spotting session, which is gonna kick it off. I'm really excited because I'm a lot more in the dark on this one compared to Obsession. I feel like I kind of saw Obsession come together through like every little moment, but for Anything But Ghost, I read like the earliest version of the script, and that's pretty much it. I got a handful of little stills while they were shooting, but so yeah, so I'm excited to dive into that, and yeah, and just see like what life as a film composer has in store, and start to just like put myself out there and explore and take on some new projects and work in some different areas.
Fantastic. Sir, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. This is great. I'm so excited for everybody like loving this movie as much as they do. Um, and yeah, no, it was really great to talk to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks so much, and yeah, you as well. It was great talking with you.